What up, guys? Mad Scientist 7890 here. Just after Final Battle here, and I did a video the day of Final Battle, saying that I thought this Final Battle 2011 was going to be Ring of Honor's best show of the year. Quality-wise of matches, it's hard to say that it was, but the one thing that I really wanted to point out about this show in particular that I thought was absolutely great, and it put this over as being my favorite Ring of Honor show of the entire year. And that is something that's been lacking in Ring of Honor as of late, and that's booking. The booking for this pay-per-view was absolutely genius. A number of things on this I thought were just absolutely booked just to perfection. Really enjoyed it. The entertainment, the overall enjoyment of just how the matches were booked, how the order of the matches, the way things went. And I'll get into that. This is not really going to be a review. It's just kind of throw out there my thoughts and how great I thought the booking of this show was. It was just absolutely great in my opinion. But so I'll start off with the first matches and I'll tell you which I think about those. Elgin and Perkins, short match, but it did what it needed to do. Get Elgin over as a beast. Thought that was the right move. Going on. Ciampa versus Rave. I thought Rave might have won here because I thought he maybe would come back, but I think it was a smart move if he's not going to stay. The way it was booked, to have Ciampa win to push him forward as the top guy of the embassy. Looked good in this match here. Rave looked good as well. Ciampa going over was actually a great move to actually solidify him as that top guy of the embassy. Then we also got next was, let's see what was next. Oh, the triple threat. Next was the triple threat, and it had the way this match went. I thought was well. I thought Bennett might have won here, but I think it's a good move for them to bring in Maria. I thought that was a good move. The crowd totally hated on it, but I thought it was smart in the sense to get the heat from the crowd from Bennett to roll up. Generico. Generico definitely looked like the MVP of this match. Lethal going over here and continuing his reign as TV champion. I thought it was a smart move. But, not my favorite booking decision, but I still think that was a good booking decision. I thought, Lethal retaining or Bennett winning would have been a really good move. But, Lethal retaining here and the way it ended was quick and it was kind of long. It started out slow, but the match progressed. It got better and better. The interference wasn't bad either. So I thought the way this was booked was okay, but still, it was pretty good. Next, we got the Steen versus Carino match, which I thought was a great positioning for the show, honestly. Right before intermission, the way they booked this was great. They, set it up to look like it was going to be a work. I think they had a lot of people thinking that it might be a work. I was one of those people. Totally flipped it on me. They just had a flat-out match, probably the best match Carino's had all year and also in a long time. Great spots. Steen looked great here. Jimmy Jacobs played his part. Carino selling a lot of great, doing a lot of great stuff here. The way this match went, wasn't overdone, but they did great spots, and Steen getting the win, and Jimmy Jacobs not wanting to count, Cornette being pissed, Kerry Silkin being pissed, and then basically getting on the mic and saying, great post segment here, basically saying, I came here to do three things, beat up Steve Carino, he did that, and then he goes number two, then he goes and package pile drives Jimmy Jacobs, then he goes and he says number three, he's going to package pile drive Cornette. And then they have some refs, calling some people out. And Generico runs out there, and they get out there and they, look at each other in the face and start. I thought they maybe was going to do a swerve, and they didn't. And I thought it was actually a good move not to do a swerve here. Generico, him and Generico brawl for a couple minutes, or not even a couple minutes, just real shortly, and then Steen package pile drives him onto a table from the apron, kind of just lays him out, and he kind of just sends him packing, and I thought that was great to get Steen over as a mega heel in the Ring of Honor, which they've completely been missing. Next, after the intermission, they got the 5-team gauntlet. I thought this was exactly the way it should have went. Great first couple, rounds, leading into finally getting to, actually I wanted to mention Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander could possibly definitely, in my opinion, have a spot on this roster. They looked great in this. The Bravados doing what they need to do. Future Shock always being great. And then getting down to the Young Bucks, who I feel like are two of the best heels, one of the best heel tag teams of all of this year, honestly. Getting the win here, and I thought that was a smart move. The Young Bucks are definitely over. And I definitely would have booked it like that in the way that they won and the cheating and the extra 450 was great on that part. Possibly taking Rhett Titus out for a while. I know he's been having some knee injury problems, but Young Bucks going over here was the right move. Next, they have the Roderick Strong, open challenge or whatever. The way they set this up was great. So many different possibilities, but the one, I kept saying in the back of my mind, if this is not Chris Hero, I'm going to be disappointed no matter who it is. King's music hits, and Hero comes out, and I just marked out. I'm so glad to see Chris Hero. For those of you who've been watching me for a while know I am the hugest Chris Hero fan. He's like my favorite guy. To see him back in Ring of Honor on pay-per-view against Roderick Strong was great. This was a great match here. I wasn't quite sure because I don't know if Hero's going to stay. If it would have been a smart move for Hero to get the win here, I would have loved to see him win. But the fact that that Strong is actually going to be with the company and he's signed to a contract, I don't know if Hero is. Strong going over here in this match, with nefarious means, but I still think it made sense having a pretty good match here. And I really enjoyed this match. Definitely, probably one of my favorite matches of the whole night. Next, we have the tag title match, which I thought originally I wasn't. The booking for was kind of strange. And then I started thinking about it, and then it got towards the end, and then finally the Briscoes won. This booking for this match was genius. I love the booking for this match. Some people may say it was a clusterfuck, it was a mess, but I love the booking for this match. I thought it was great. How they had complete flip-flop of the Briscoes turning face and Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team turning heel. I think it was a great thing to do because Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team was so stale and so bad, I think, for the year. Everyone's really talking about how bad their run was as champions, and they didn't have a lot of great matches, and they were boring. Completely turning it in the first 7-8 minutes of this match just being a bunch of brawling. I thought that was great. And Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team just beating the shit out of the Briscoes. I thought that was a great move. Coming into finally them having a match, Jay Briscoe was already bleeding, Mark Briscoe was beat up, Charlie Haas playing to the crowd and giving the middle finger, and them doing the leapfrog spot and them botching it, Shelton and Charlie botching the spot, and the crowd just losing it, and them just getting so much heat, getting booed. I think it was a smart move to turn heel because they are those WWE guys. They are those guys that, are easily to get booed in Ring of Honor because maybe they're not up to par with the Ring of Honor athletes and stuff like that. Obviously Shelton and Charlie are both great athletes, but to Ring of Honor fans, they're always going to be WWE guys. So Briscoe's going over here, winning the titles, great moment. That's how I would have. Originally I wouldn't have booked it like this. I had no idea, but the way this was booked, great booking in that match. I thought that was absolutely great in my opinion. I loved it. Bought every moment of it. Next, got the main event. To some people, this may have went a little long. It dragged toward the end. Maybe the believability factor of it and how many big spots they did at the end. But this was great stuff. These guys worked their ass off. I don't know if this was. I don't think this was as good as their Best in the World match. Honestly, after thinking about it a little bit, going over the time a little bit longer than the Best in the World match, I believe, but. I don't know. I don't think it was near as good. I think there was just, to me, some unbelievability out of it. But I think the match is exactly what I expected from Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. A great athletic wrestling match, with certain things here, and that I know there's going to be some things people hated about this match, but I enjoyed this match, and I still think it was probably the best match on the show. I just find it interesting because I actually just did a video, and I still haven't put it up yet. About selling and spot fest. People know selling and people doing spot fest matches, which I'm going to put up, and it kind of just falls into the range of this main event. So look for that. It's definitely an interesting video. It might cause a little bit of controversy, get some people talking. So, but after that, the main event was great and all that stuff that they did. What put it over was, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards doing this, being out there for damn near 40 minutes or whatever, and wrestling and doing the whole thing they did, and just really working hard and having the whole group of just the MMA type, feel to it. And afterwards, Davey Richards gets on the mic and says, I love you, Eddie Edwards, you're my brother. Whenever you want to go again, blah, 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 we'll wrestle again. Anytime, or, this or that. Then, the greatest thing ever. Kevin Steen comes out, gets on the mic, and he goes, wah, wah, stop your whining and bitching. you sound like a bunch of homos or whatever, he said. He's like, you and your MMA homo buddies should go in the back and have a circle jerk. Nobody wants to hear this bullshit. And it was great. And, Kevin Steen saying, how, I'm, back in Ring of Honor, I'm going to take over, take hostage to Ring of Honor, and I'm the Antichrist of wrestling. And I thought this was great. I thought the setup for Kevin Steen to be just a mega heel in Ring of Honor, this was absolutely amazing to me. I loved it. Davey running after him, Kazina and O'Reilly stopping him, and Steen saying, I'm coming after your title, I'm coming after you. This whole setup for Steen coming into 2012 is absolutely genius to me. I loved it, and then Steen pretty much walking out and saying "Merry Christmas, bitch," and then he walked off. And that was basically the end of the show. I loved the booking for this. This was, in my personal opinion, the best booked Ring of Honor show of the year. Added with the quality of matches. I'm going to personally say I think this is up there with their best shows of the year. The only ones I would definitely put above it possibly are the Honor Takes Center Stage ones, but I definitely think this is up there just for the booking and the match quality added in and everything. I love the way this was booked, honestly, do guys. So let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, this was a great final battle. I was definitely looking forward to it, and it delivered on just certain levels. So yeah, that's my my thoughts on Final Battle. I didn't do really any ratings on it. I did kind of the ratings with the IWR show. So if you guys want to check out my ratings, I kind of averaged them with theirs. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys think about Final Battle. The best booked Ring of Honor show of the entire year, in my opinion. So like I said, Mad Scientist, I'm out of here, guys, and peace.